Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Dana Berez and I recently just came back from a trip to Vegas, and I want to share with you some travel tips that will help you if you are going to Vegas, if it's your first time, or if you've been there a few times but want to know even more tips. This video is for you. And if you want to see what I did in Vegas, I will leave my vlog here. Did a lot of different things, so it's a really fun video if you want to check out what we did. But before I begin, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can check out more of my travel videos. I will be headed away for summer to some exciting places, so if you want to stay tuned to what I'm doing, be sure to hit that subscribe button and be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Dana Berez. I will leave those links all down below in the description box. So just to get your bearings of Las Vegas is basically centered around the Las Vegas Strip, which is very close to the Las Vegas airport, which is an amazing feature to the destination. A lot of places you have to drive, 30-40 minutes to reach your hotel, but literally in Las Vegas you fly in and you will see the Strip. Most of your hotels will be located on or around the Strip. And then you also have downtown Vegas, which includes Fremont Street, and that area is north of the Las Vegas Strip, and it has like local bars, fun vibe, and a different energy than the Las Vegas Strip. So if you want something a bit different, I would definitely head there at night. It's really, really cool. Where to stay in Las Vegas? Now this depends on how much you are willing to spend on your hotel. Be sure to look at those resort fees because they do add up, and they could be around like $40 per day just to use like the hotel amenities. Try websites like booking.com because those resort fees are going to be included as you're searching for your price. My biggest tip for choosing a hotel in Vegas is to pick a hotel that's centrally located on the Strip. So when I mean centrally located, I mean hotels near and around the Bellagio fountain. I feel like that is a great center point of the Las Vegas Strip. If you stay around in that area, you'll be able to walk to different bars and restaurants and things that you want to do, and you won't have to rely solely on using Uber every single time. So if you stay outside the Strip, north like at the Wynn, or the south end like Mandalay Bay, you will have to rely on using Uber more frequently to get to bars and restaurants because the Las Vegas Strip from the Mandalay Bay to the Stratosphere is 4.2 miles, so it's nearly impossible to walk it. So to make your lives easier, I recommend hotels that are centrally located so you can walk around and do different things. That will save you time and money because the Ubers, which I'll get into later, can add up a lot of time and money to your overall Vegas experience. To pick a specific hotel, it definitely depends on how much you want to spend. You can find amazing hotel deals in Vegas. Rooms tend to be a bit less than your average like hotel in the United States, but they do add on that resort fee. And also where you're going to be spending the most money is in food and beverage. I'll get into that in a second. Some hotels that are centrally located are the Cosmopolitan, the Bellagio, Paris Hotels, Caesar's Palace, and others in that area. If you want an all-out Vegas experience and you are willing to spend a bit more money on your hotel room, I highly recommend staying at the Cosmopolitan Fountain View balcony room. It was amazing. It honestly was just so cool to be able to wake up in the morning, have coffee on the balcony, have drinks on your balcony, be there at night. Like you could just order like grab and go food and sit on your balcony. I love outdoor space, especially private outdoor space. So that hotel room was amazing. But if you want other options for hotels, Resorts World is a brand new hotel that opened in Vegas. It's more on the northern side of the Strip, but it's brand new, so everything will be nice and modern. Another like modern hotel that has great prices is the Park MGM. It was completely renovated, so the rooms have newer features and it isn't too expensive. But if you want to save the most amount of money, I would recommend staying off the Strip. Just know you will have to spend money on Ubers to get to the Strip. There's really no way that you could walk there and then walk on the Strip. It looks close on a map, but in reality it is pretty far. So a hotel that is brand new off the Strip is the Virgin Hotels. It has a fun, cool retro vibe. All right, let's talk about getting around in Vegas. You do not need to rent a car at all. It is extremely walkable if you are in a central location, and you can rely on Uber to get you anywhere that you want to go. On average, our Uber rides were about $10 to $15 depending on where we're going on the Strip. And then if we were going a bit further out from our hotel to like Fremont Street, downtown Vegas, it was more around $20 per way. Now, if you want to explore the amazing surrounding area of Vegas, you could rent a car at the airport. It's cheaper at the airport, and you can drive out to Red Rock Canyon for a day to like get out in nature, or you could do a specific tour, which I'll get into later, but you definitely don't need to rent a car in Vegas. Just note, when you request your Uber or Lyft in your hotel, there are designated areas in each hotel for Uber and Lyft pickup. It depends on each individual hotel, but normally they do not pick you up in front of the hotel. So when I was staying at the Bellagio, I requested my Uber and I was waiting in the front, and it took a while. I'm like, where is this car? It's here, but I can't find it. So at the Bellagio, you have to walk to the side of the hotel, down an escalator, and it's like in a basement garage. So each hotel will have a different area for drop off and pickup. Learn where your pickup and drop off is at your hotel. It'll save you a lot of time. Also, if you're on this trip and you want to get a Uber or taxi, they don't stop on the strip at all. Go to a hotel to request your Uber drop off and pickup. And there are also some monorail systems that you can use if you don't want to depend on Uber or Lyft. There are free trams and then there's paid trams. Let's talk about restaurants. There are so many restaurants in Vegas. I'm not going to go into detail of restaurant recommendations because that could be a whole other video. Just some tips about eating out in Vegas. If you have a restaurant that you really want to go to, make a reservation. Even if it's 2 people. If it's a bigger group, 100% you will need reservation. You may have to wait for your table, or there might not even be anything available. So reservations are key for your must reservation. Where I find I spend the most money in Vegas is on food and beverage. It is expensive. Dinners in Vegas for 2 people, we're spending around, I would say $125. That's like on the low end, to $300 per dinner. The $300 one was a steakhouse and we ordered steak, so that obviously was a bit more expensive. But in general, the restaurants are not cheap. I think cocktails and drinks were around maybe $18 to $24. I paid $24 for this amazing like specialty cocktail at the Vanderpump Paris, which is known for their really unique cocktails, but it was $24 for that one drink. So the drinks are expensive. That definitely adds up on your food bill. If you want to save money on dinner, I would skip alcohol. That's where they really get you. A great way to kind of budget out eating out in Vegas, I would recommend like going for lunch instead of going to a sit-down lunch and a sit-down dinner, just going to like In-N-Out Burger. They have Chipotle, they have Shake Shack, they have fast casual restaurants located right on the strip. So you can definitely save some money by going there for lunch and then splurging on dinner. And then breakfast. Breakfast is where I think they really get you. Most hotels, I'm gonna say most hotels, I would say the majority of hotels do not offer coffee in the room. Like, I'm a big coffee lover. In fact, I have my coffee here right now with me. In the hotels in Vegas, they don't really have coffee in the room. Now for me, that's like, I know at Caesar's Palace they have Keurig machines, but each individual pod is like $3. Basically, they're gonna make money off of everyone in the hotel by going to the coffee place in the hotel. Depending on when you wake up in Vegas, coming from the East Coast, I'm usually up around 6 a.m. in Vegas. So I need my coffee immediately, and those coffee places inside the hotels maybe open at 7. And the line, can you imagine, everyone wants coffee because there's no machines. The line gets really long at like the coffee places inside of the hotel. So to save a lot of money, this is my biggest tip for Vegas, is to pack a foldable kettle. So you could boil hot water if you like tea. This is great, but I boil my own water, and then I bring like a little net and I pour my coffee in there, and I do a pour over in my room. And honestly, it saves me time and money. I just think it's one of a really good Vegas tip. I will leave a link down below of the one that I use. It's pretty affordable. Let's talk about the Vegas pools. Now, the pools are not open all year round. So they do close during winter season. It depends on each individual hotel, but majority, they all reopen around in March. So if you want to go to Vegas and enjoy the pool, definitely consider that when you're planning your trip, because in January or February, they may be still closed. We went in May, and honestly, it was like an amazing month to go, and we wanted to enjoy the pool. So some pool tips for Vegas, I noticed around 11:30, 12, most of the pool chairs were taken. I know this is like a common thing, especially in any resort where people just wake up really early and like take their chairs. Not so much in Vegas. I would say early that the pool is 9 a.m. If you got there at 9, it's like you'll probably be the only ones there. Get there before 11, I would say, just to find a chair. This will also vary between each hotel and how many chairs are available, but it's kind of like one of those things where you have to get there early to hold your chair. And I would recommend bringing some chair clips. Let's talk about what to wear. I do have a pack with me video if you want to see what I brought to Vegas. I will leave that here. But in general, I was there from the weekday to the weekend. Things definitely get more fun on the weekend. So at night, you'll see a lot of girls in dresses, heels, like they're going all out. During the weekdays, it wasn't as like dressy, if you know what I mean. I just didn't see a lot of people like in dresses. And I wore like a bodycon hot pink dress on a Tuesday. And I definitely was probably the most overdressed person in Las Vegas. But on the weekend, I would have totally blended in because everyone's wearing that kind of outfit. So for dinners, I would recommend wearing just like a nice pant, a nice shoe, a nice blouse. And then for men, a nice button down like shirt and long pants are great for dinner. And then during the day, be sure to wear comfortable shoes. I think that is even more important than nighttime outfits because during the day, you're gonna be walking around so much, you need a pair of comfortable shoes. I recommend these shoes from Adidas. I will leave them linked down below. I wear them on all of my trips. I've been wearing them for years and I always end up getting new pairs because they're just comfortable. I don't mind if they get a bit dirty. They're white and they go with all of my outfits, so I bring those on all of my trips. And then for the ladies, wear heels at your own risk is what I'll say. It is hilarious that the hotels are huge. Walking inside just the hotel, like from your room to the elevator to the Uber pickup, like your feet are gonna hurt automatically. So it's a lot to walk around, especially because the hotels are so big. So a nice flat will work. But if you're adamant on wearing heels, there are vending machines that sell rollable flats for like shoe emergencies. I think that is genius. I would definitely have used that because when I was in Vegas and I was on girls trips, we all had to wear heels. At the end of the night, you can't even walk. So I love that vending machine. So Vegas weather, it is a desert. So if you're visiting fall, winter, it is not as hot as you think it would. I went in winter one time and I'm thinking it's the desert, it's gonna be so hot. I brought just shorts and tops. I didn't bring a jacket. Silly me. It is definitely colder than you think it would. And then in summer, complete opposite, it is super hot. So in May, when I went, I didn't really bring a jacket and you didn't really need one. But during the winter times, definitely bring a light jacket because it's definitely colder than you think it is. How long to stay in Vegas? You definitely don't need a lot of time in Vegas. I would recommend like 3 nights is like a great amount of time to have enough time to see it all, do some activities, even maybe go outside of the strip, go to the Red Rock Canyon and do other things, and have enough time to just do nothing, stay at the pool and relax and go to dinner. 2 nights is doable, a bit rushed, I think. The last time we were there for 5 nights and we were like, at the end, we're like, okay, we've done it all. You don't need a lot of time because everything is literally on very close together. It doesn't take long to see everything. And then when to go to Vegas, because it is that weekend destination, the weekends are gonna have the highest hotel prices. It's going to be the busiest. So if you want to save money, you could definitely go on a weekday. However, there are like the shows and the nightclubs and the events typically happen on the weekend only. So if you have a must club or DJ or show you want to see, make sure that they're open if you do plan on going on the weekdays, just because most of those things are open on the weekend. Definitely bring some sunscreen and a hat. I think it may be obvious, but the sun is definitely stronger than you think. And there is like a tip if you are walking on the strip, especially during summer, you can just like walk through the casinos rather than being outside just to like cool down a little bit because it does get very, very hot in summer. Some top things that you should do in Vegas, there is the high roller, which is like this big Ferris wheel. It takes 30 minutes to go around. It has amazing views of the strip. I've been only during the day and I think at night it would be better. It is a bit more expensive, but you can pre-book your ticket so you can skip the line while you're there and just head right up to the wheel. So I will leave a link down below if you want to pre-book it. But if you're gonna go, I would recommend going at night. It's gonna be busier at night, but you'll see more. The strip is lit up. You may even catch the Bellagio fountains going off. So I think at night is better. You can go zip lining. There is some wild activities on the Stratosphere, the tall tower. You can like bungee jump off of it. They have some wild things up on there. I think they even have like a ride on top of the tower. If you're into adventure and adrenaline, go to the tower and do all of the activities. Another fun adventure tour you could do is a helicopter tour. I did that at night and it was really, really cool to see the strip at night. It was a bit terrifying my first time on a helicopter, but it was a memorable experience that you will never forget, so that's always an option. There is the Neon Museum where they take the old neon signs from the casinos and they put it in like this yard. That's also amazing to see at night. I would recommend seeing a show. They are known for over-the-top shows. I saw Absinthe, which is not for the faint of heart. It was not brutal, but like there is a comedian who will basically pick on anybody in the audience. Like I was like, oh my gosh, don't see me. I didn't get picked on, but if you did, just be ready. You gotta be able to handle like some serious crude humor, but it was an amazing show because they mix like acrobat. And then there's also free things to do. Walking the strip in itself is an activity. You can drink alcohol on the strip legally, so you can get a drink, walk it around, and people watch. Amazing people watching in Vegas. The Fountains of Bellagio is another free activity that you can do. They go off every single day, and when you're in Vegas, you'll probably see them more than once just because they go off often. During the weekdays, during the day, it's every 30 minutes after 3 p.m. Weekends is a bit longer. They start at noon. And then after night, it's like every 15 minutes after 7 p.m. So you're definitely gonna see it maybe more than once and twice, but definitely take it in because they play different music, they have different themes. That's really, really cool to see. And then there's also the Bellagio Conservatory and Gardens inside the Bellagio lobby. They have an amazing garden show. It changes 5 times a year. It's free to see. And each season they have an amazing display. I went during spring this year, so it was a beautiful spring display with like gorgeous hot air balloons filled with flowers. It was really pretty. It's also the fire show. There's the flamingos. There's a lot of free things that you can do in Vegas. And when you're in Vegas, be sure to leave the strip. There are so many things that you can do outside of the strip. You could go to Red Rock Canyon, which is 30 minutes outside. You could do a tour there. I went with Pink Jeep Tours. So they pick you up at your hotel and they drive you out to the desert. You get out of the car, walk around, get back in the car and like tour around the amazing landscapes. You can see the Valley of Fire when you're in Vegas. You can see Hoover Dam. You can even make it out to the Grand Canyon. I believe it's like a 4-hour drive, but they do offer like tours from your hotel to the Grand Canyon and back in a day trip. So I will leave all links down below for things that you can do outside of the Las Vegas Strip. And there's also the 7 Magic Mountains. That's like a 30-minute drive outside of the strip. You can take an Uber there. Just be sure you have enough battery and service to request an Uber back. When I went, the Uber driver actually just waited for us to be finished because he knew that getting an Uber while you're out in the desert may be a bit challenging. So maybe communicate with your driver if like, hey, can you just stay 10 minutes? I'll pay you whatever to get back to the strip, just because it may be difficult to get an Uber back in the middle of the desert. To close out the video, I'm going to give you some random tips of Las Vegas that I think you should know about. 1, save money on coffee. I told you about that earlier. Bring your own setup. You'll save a lot of time and money on that. Take out money before you arrive in Vegas. The ATM fees in Vegas are just wild. To take out money at Caesar's Palace, it's $10 a transaction. $10. Bring your cash before you arrive to Vegas. That will save you a ton of money on ATM. When you arrive to your hotel, there'll be like luggage porters. I would opt not to do the luggage porters unless you have like a ton of luggage, but because Vegas is so busy, it does take like 45 minutes for your luggage to reach your room. And let's say you have dinner reservations, you don't even have your luggage, you can't even freshen up with your toiletry bag. So I like to just bring my bag up to the room. Stay hydrated. As soon as you arrive to your hotel, I would walk over to the nearest like CVS and buy like 2 gallons of water and maybe like some alcohol just to save money on that too, and some snacks. Bring it to your room. The water in the room is going to be like $8 or $10. It is not free, and you will definitely need to stay hydrated, especially in Vegas. It is super dry, super warm, so the water is key. And if you plan on going shopping in Vegas, there are amazing shopping places that you can go to. There's the Fashion Mall that has tons of stores. You have the Caesars Shop and Forum, which is like, I think in itself is like a mile-long shopping. They have high-end designers, also shopping inside the Venetian. So if you want to go shopping, Vegas is definitely an amazing place to go. All right, so there goes all of my Vegas travel tips. Let me know if you found this video helpful and give it a thumbs up. And let me know down below if you have any other Vegas travel tips. I would love to hear from you. And with that, I hope you guys have an awesome day and I will see you in the next video. Bye.